I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. Today, I'm going to take you with me up to Talkeetna, Alaska, which is this adorable town that I'd never been to before, but I can't wait to show you the footage from it. Ironically, given today's topic, it was rainy, and we decided to take the day trip anyways. I'll tell you what, I am so glad we did. We were sopping wet. We probably only got through about half of the cute little village, but I'm glad we just embraced it anyway. Now we're going to talk about contentment. Why do we even need to be content? Why it's important. Then we're going to talk about ideas on how we can be content. And then I'm going to share a personal, real-time story with you of how right now in my life, I'm dealing with a situation that is causing me to fight for contentment every single day. Why is contentment even important? You know, the Bible actually has a lot to say about contentment. I think if we were all honest, we would admit that we struggle with contentment probably most of the time in some degree or another. I mean, if you're someone that doesn't struggle with contentment, I would love to meet you and find out what your secret is. But I think in varying degrees, we all struggle with it. I guess we should define what contentment even is. I suppose if I were to put it into words, I would say it's just a peaceful resting in where we're at. It's not reaching for something more, something different. It's not comparing or coveting, which is a Bible term that just means like wanting what you don't have. It's not looking for the upgrade or the next thing, but it's just resting in the fact that God has you right where you are, and you're in the situations, you're dealing with what you have been given right now today, and you have a peace about it. Why then does the Bible talk about contentment so much? Here's a few reasons that I have found to be true in my life. Number one, man, when I am discontent, I don't know about you, but it just distracts me so much from my own purpose and calling. You know, on this channel, I'm going to talk a lot about living your life in light of eternity. It's having that eternal mindset that we were created for a greater purpose, that God actually has an assignment for us while we are here on earth. And when we start looking around and focusing on everything that we want or we don't have, maybe we are in a really difficult, tragic situation or painful situation and we just don't want to be. But if we get lost and we sink in that, it blinds us from the opportunities and the calling that God has on our life. It takes our distraction and our focus off of eternal things, and it puts us on earthly things. I can't think of a more important reason in this moment why we shouldn't always work on contentedness. Number two, it steals our peace. I would say for most of us, this is probably the quickest way that we can identify that we are not being content. We start to feel that restlessness, that anxiousness, that frustration. We start looking around and we're comparing with other people what they have. All of a sudden, somewhere inside of us, usually somewhere in our body, we get an indication of maybe you get tension in your neck muscles, or you feel it in your stomach and you just don't feel settled because you're thinking about what you don't have or what you wish wasn't. I think this could be the first indicator for us. I am dealing with discontentment. Number three, on why it's important to always work on contentment. When we get discontent, it will naturally make us more greedy. We will compare more. We will become jealous of other people. I have to confess that there are times that I'm just not happy for somebody else that has something that I want. And isn't that gross? Ugh. Like, I do not want to be that person that's looking at someone else thinking, I wish I had that, and I'm so unhappy that I don't, that I can't even be happy for them. I think as Christian women, I see this all the time in the church. This is like the comparison culture. You're in a Bible study group of a bunch of women and you walk in the room and you could just like feel the insecurity oozing off of women. And it's not always because of comparison, but most of the time there's at least some of that happening in the room. You know, they don't feel qualified, good enough. They're sizing up their quote unquote competition. This is the opposite of God's design for a Christian community, by the way. We are supposed to be loving, encouraging, cheering one another on, speaking the truth in love, admonishing one another with scriptures, like literally comparing with each other and being discontent with either where we're at in our walk with God. Maybe it's our finances, our own health, our looks, whatever the thing is. It's literally endless. Probably what you deal with discontentment is unique to you. It may not be the same as what I deal with or somebody else. But when we get in a room of other people, it can be felt, and it can be felt as insecurity and sizing each other up. I don't know about you, but that never feels good to me. Okay, so what can we do about it? What are the ways that we can actively work on and fight for contentment? In the beginning of this video, I read a scripture from Philippians that was written by Paul. I talked about Paul a couple videos ago when it was titled, Jesus is Coming Back Soon and Why the World Needs You, I think. But I talk about when you feel like God can't use you, that Paul is a great example of a life that was radically transformed from being a hunter of Christians, literally hunted them and rounded them up to persecute them, to be profoundly used by God. And so in the book of Philippians, he's writing to the church, and he talks about how he'd learned to be content. Now, Paul actually came from, it's believed he came from quite a bit of like wealth. Like he had influence and he was educated and a Roman citizen. So he had kind of a posh life, gave his life up to be a follower of Jesus and to spread the gospel. And let's just say there was plenty of opportunities that Paul was in need. He was imprisoned, he was beaten, went hungry. I mean, he had a way rougher than probably any of us listening or watching this video. And yet he says that he learned the secret to being content. Philippians 4:13 is actually our family verse. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I love that it was just the previous verses that were talking about Paul having learned to be content. So that means no matter what we're facing, whatever situation we're in, we can learn to be content, and we can do it with God's strength. On our own, we're not capable, but we can do everything with the strength of God. All right, here's some practical ways of things that I do to work on contentment. Number one, tell yourself no. This is a tough one, but this actually leans into a consumer mentality a lot. So if you're someone that struggles with your like physical situation, maybe it's your home, it's the stuff in your home, maybe you like having new cars or the newest iPhone or makeup. Like if you're a more material or consumer driven person, which we all can be to some degree, okay? And what I have found is that there are times when I have to tell myself no. In fact, I've been doing that just this week. If you watch my previous videos, you'll know that we just moved to Alaska a couple months ago with very little things to furnish our house and practical everyday things. So we have been in a gather season. However, I found that I was spending so much time gathering that I needed to take a break and just tell myself no. to look around and be grateful for what we have right now. Because there was a time not that long ago that I would have been so thankful just to have a house with as many bedrooms and bathrooms as we do, that I've been just so grateful to have a yard and space for my family and the animals. And I can get hyper focused on what I want or what my vision is of where I want to end up. And I don't do good at pausing and just being thankful for what we have. So sometimes you just tell yourself no. And maybe it's not because you can't afford it, or you don't have the time or the energy to be able to get those things, but it's simply because you need to hold yourself accountable and you need to test your spirit against that discontentment. Number 2, just be thankful for what you already have. Now this one seems really obvious, okay? And I feel like gratefulness is something that is talked about a lot. Especially, okay, if you've been in the church for any period of time, you might be like me and be thinking that's kind of cliche, right? We're just supposed to have gratitude journals and say every day the things that we're grateful for. But I'm telling you, do not be cynical of this. When was the last time you actually did it? There's a reason that it's talked about as much as it is. And there's a reason that the people that I know that keep a gratitude journal or that intentionally talk out loud about the things they're thankful for, they tend to be more peaceful, content people. It works. I've even watched videos from like brain doctors that talk about how gratefulness and naming the things that we're grateful for actually change pathways in our physical brains. So being thankful, writing it down, saying it out loud is a powerful tool. It is simple, and many of us just don't do it, but it is powerful. Number 3, on how to be content. These are just a few ideas of practical ways to do it. Think about times that you wished you had what you have now. I'm going to give you an example from my own life. Just 2 summers ago, my family was in a very trying season that summer. If you go back and listen to some of my other videos, I talk about it. It's when God had us give up the lease on our house and we did not have somewhere to live for several months. And during that period of time, we were living out of suitcases, we were traveling, we had family, amazing family. Like, we weren't homeless, we had places we were staying, but we were in this transition season. And I remember just longing for my own home again, my own space with my family. And not that we weren't grateful for the people that opened up their homes or the different experiences we were having and the vacations and stuff, but I just wanted to make home. So sometimes I think about that now. When I look around and I think, oh my gosh, I don't even have a dresser or a bed set anymore. Or I look in my kitchen and I'm like, man, I need some basic utensils, things that we used to have, but we had to get rid of when we moved. It makes me so much more grateful. When I think back to that time, it helps me be glad for where I am today. Okay, now I'm going to share with you a current real-time example of something I'm dealing with every day. So, as I've mentioned, we just moved to Alaska a couple months ago, and we are currently renting. As of now, when I'm recording this, 5 of our 6 appliances do not work. And they started failing right after we moved in. It started with the oven, then the dishwasher. Then we found out the smoker that they had provided didn't work. Then the microwave failed. I'm not even kidding. Over the weekend, our refrigerator went out. And my dear husband cleaned out the fridge, had to toss what had spoiled, and we currently have a couple coolers with what we could save sitting on our deck. Now, to some people, this might not seem like a big deal, but for our family, this is huge. To have been dealing with this from the time that we moved in here, and none of it has been remedied yet. It's a big deal because I cook from scratch almost all of our food. We buy very little pre-made or prepackaged foods. Now that's because it's a cost savings for our family, it's because it's our preference, we just enjoy cooking from scratch, but it's also because we have some food sensitivities and some dietary needs that require us to cook so much from scratch. So it has been immensely challenging for me. I am down to just a cook stove top on the counter. And this has been something that is out of our control, and it's frustrating, and I have to deal with it every day. Every day I have to wake up and say, how am I going to feed my family today? It has had financial impact on us. It's just not been a pleasant experience dealing with our landlord on this. And we don't know what the outcome is going to be yet. But what I'm doing right now, and I'm fighting in real time every day for contentment in this situation. It feels like I basically am trying to operate without a kitchen. And not because we're renovating or something. This is nothing of our own fault or responsibility. So I first need to work on not being frustrated and bitter with the people that are responsible for this. That is not going to help me be a light and an example for Christ. Next, I have to remember that it's only a season and it won't go on forever. I'm not going to be without a fully functioning kitchen forever. I just won't. I'm learning to use what I have and make the most of it. We have had to change how we're eating for a time being. It's frustrating to know the potential of what we could be preparing and eating as meals, but instead of dwelling on it constantly, I just try to look and say, what can I do with what I have? When I get a bad attitude, and those moments come, I try to stop and take a deep breath and let go of control to the best of my ability. I literally picture placing it at the feet of God and saying, God, I can't be both you and me. I can't control this. You take care of all of our needs. I'm going to trust you with even this. I don't know why God allows what He allows in our life. But I can tell you that if we are willing to, He can teach us through all of the circumstances that could easily cause us to feel discontent. He has a purpose for all things, in all things, and through all things for our good and His glory. He doesn't waste anything. I'm going to leave you with this thought, and then I'm going to pray. Something that is incredibly simple and powerful that I've encouraged my children to do, and I'm not always even good at doing myself, but that is to write down scriptures that speak to the very things that you need to hear today, like right now, or this week, or this month, or this season in your life. And then place it somewhere you can see it all day. If you're someone that's in the car lot, that might be like on your dashboard. I put it on my mirror so I can see it every morning and every night. I'm going to put some scriptures up on the screen, just 4 different ones that are ideas around contentment. And I would encourage you to look them up and choose. Maybe you just choose one. Maybe it's not 3 verses. Maybe you just choose 1 to write down. But put it somewhere where you can see it. And if you've been in the church for any amount of time, this might seem cliche, or you've heard this 1,000 times. But again, just like practicing gratefulness, when was the last time you did it? When was the last time I did it? It is powerful, because instead of driving in that car that maybe needs new tires, or you have an expensive repair that needs to be done, and all you can think about is the sound or the feeling, you can look down and see on that dash that verse that reminds you that you lack nothing and God takes care of you, and you can be content in every situation. Or maybe you stand in the mirror and you're struggling with health issues, and instead of looking at the physical representation of some of those health issues, you can look down and you can see a scripture that reminds you of how God holds you in His hands, and how even now in this situation, you can have a sure foundation, a settled spirit full of peace and contentment, that He uses all things for your good and His glory. Those are just a couple examples. But it is important to fight for contentment. It will change us, and it is a fight sometimes, but we are meant to live with purpose. And here's a simple way we can do it. I'm going to pray with you. Father, thank you that you are on the throne and you are so perfect at being God. Thank you that you walk with us through every trial, every challenge, that you waste nothing, that you are refining us and changing us to look more like your Son Jesus every day, if we'll just trust you. I pray that we would lay before you the specific things that we feel discontent about, or lack, or frustration, or we wish were different, and we would trust you with them. Give us fresh eyes to see our lives and ourselves how you see us, with abundance, not a perspective of lack, but a perspective of abundance. In Jesus' name.